Well, hello there and welcome to Pringle Racing, and you'll notice that we are now moving on to Monster Energy Supercross 2. And what I like to do when I do a particular game, I try and pick out the trophies that could be potentially the most tricky ones. And not in the tricky in the sense that you can't do them, the tricky that if services are switched off. And as this is now quite an old game, so this is 2019, one of the areas you've got a track editor, but the track editor is an online feature. So if they should ever switch off the service, this particular feature won't be available. So if you go into your track editor, you'll see here I've speeded up time and I've just created a little track tested through, and it's quite a good fun scenario here. One of the tools you have to do is actually use the tutorial and go through it, so you get a trophy for just doing the track editor. Now once the servers are switched off, you won't ever be able to do this. And currently, Milestone don't have any plans, by the way, to switch the servers off. But at some point, they will have to do that. So what you have to do is you can create your track and you can test it. And it's quite a good editor. I found it quite reasonably fun to use. And what I did like about it, that you could go back over it and add certain track elements to it. To start with, if you've not played around with doing the editors, you tend to want to group two things together, but you do need things spaced out a bit. So I did 3 or 4 attempts, but this is my final version that I've come out with, and I quite like the fact that you could do a 3D version of it. Now, what you then have to do is you have to validate the track, okay? And you just press triangle on your keypad, if it's a PS5, and the system will then go round and do a test driver. So I'm not using this, it's the test ride. It's going around and checking to see if it's okay. Now, one of the trophies you have to do has to get 5 tracks validated. You don't have to upload them, you just do 5. So you create one track and you just do the validation 5 times, and that will get you the trophy. Now, at some point in time when the servers are switched off, and I think the logical sense says, well, it probably will do now because people have moved on, this trophy will no longer be available, and then if you can't get this trophy, you won't be able to play it in the game. So that's why I'm getting this one out of the way, which means that I've then got all the time in the world to do the other trophies, which you don't need to be online. So just be aware of that. And like I say, Milestone at the moment haven't said anything yet about they are going to do that. It's just things like online. I like to get them out of the way so you're not held to ransom by them. Because as you'll notice, my Monster Energy 1 took me 5 years to do. But this is my first time playing with Monster Energy version 2, and I quite like the mud soil sections. The controls are slightly different, so it's a bit weird, and something I'll have to get used to, but obviously as I'm going through I should get further and further with the tracks, which is not too bad. But once this is validated, see the job's done, your track is validated, it will ask you to upload. You don't have to, you can say no, but that will class as 1. I have actually uploaded this track, which is quite good. And what I have also done is, I've tested to see, well, if I'm offline, can I still create a track? And you can't validate a track or upload it or even access your tracks. You can only access your tracks if you're online. So just be aware of that. If you create these lovely tracks and they do shut the servers down, you are going to lose your tracks as well. Which is a bit of a shame, it doesn't store it locally. But if I go to single player now, I choose a single event, and then once you've chosen single event, you can choose which class you're using, whether it's the 450 or the 250 east or west. And then when that comes up, it takes you into another menu, and then you can go down to track selection. Now, when you go down to track selection, you are going to get 2 choices. Local tracks, which are local tracks on your PC, which are all these standard official ones, or the online tracks. And you can only access your library of tracks if they're online. And you'll see here you've got recommended ones that they give, and you can then use your R1 tab to flick through the screens. Now, one thing I tested that this week, so it's 2025 in December, and when I went onto the lines, you'll notice you can see a couple of Pringle tracks, but someone actually posted a track after me. So this game, released in 2019, is still active and still being tracks created, still being used today. I mean, the online is still alive as well, so it's quite good, and I don't think Milestone do have any intention of switching the servers off. But like I say, let's get them out of the way, then we don't have any worries, they can't be stopped. So let's test the track out. Let's give my first proper go playing in this game. First thing I've noticed straight away is weird pause start. I have to see if I get used to that. It is weird being heavily playing one version and jumping to the next. Also, the handle is totally different as well. You've got the other stick where I didn't use it as much on the other controller, but I've definitely tried to refine it. But my circuit I'm quite pleased with, actually. I'm not quite pleased with this. have to get used to it. Now, one thing I have to do now. Don't get me wrong. I love my Aerosmith. I like a good heavy rock band. I'm not too into the heavy grunge music for the bike music. I thought it was a bit too strong for myself. So I know you probably have a go at me. How can I not like it? Yeah, it's probably a bit too much. So I've switched the music off. Just so you get the bike noise, and the bike noise already. That my gut feeling, and this is again first impression. My gut feeling that the noise seems tampered down. Doesn't seem to be as loud, or is that just me with my settings? So I'll have a play around with this because I will give this. Oops. See, I don't remember the sound being as slippy as this. So yeah, it's promising. Yeah, we call it being as. I look like a novice. I'm not. Interested? Well, where have I dropped to now? I've dropped down to 20th, flipping heck. Yeah. So definitely a bit more controls I've got to learn here. Definitely to see if it's any good. Still visually looks good. I can't fault it. I mean, the first one was still good. So the question is, are the changes for the better? We'll have a little nosy. Seems to be bombing through this, alright. But I quite not a bad little track, and you have to do 3 laps, I think, just to test it. You don't get a trophy for doing your own track, by the way, but you do get a trophy for winning somebody else's track. So again, that needs to get out of the way, so we can't be held to ransom on that one. And they're theoretically really the only online trophies you have to do. So once those are out of the way, it's all done. The next thing is just play the game. But if you do get hooked on doing these trophies, some people don't bother. When you do, you tend to find your gameplay slides to change. You try and have a quick nosy about what do I have to do first to make sure that I don't have to worry about it. Are the online lobbies busy or not at all? And that is changing quite drastically with the way things like Ride 5, because Ride 5 is still got very busy lobbies, although that may change when 6 is released next year. But one of the cool things we're going to do is obviously we're going to carry on pushing on this channel the completion of the Super Energy Cross games as well. So we're going to carry on going through those, platinum all those. But I am very excited about Ride 6. I'm interested to look at the different types of gameplay we've got coming from that. So I am going to do a little of a dive back into the Rides 3, 4 and 5. I'm not going to do 2 because I've already platinumed that. I think I'm going to stick with 3 onwards because I want to try and platinum those before Ride 6 comes out. And I think I'm going to get Ride 6 on day 1. It does look really good. And I've already had a little recording some stuff of Ride 3 earlier. And I forget how good that game was, but it now does seem a little bit dated. And at the time I didn't think it is, but you forget how good Ride 5 is. And you've been noticing I've been posting a lot of shorts on the MotoGP 25, and I have to say MotoGP 25 is absolutely phenomenal. It is by far the best MotoGP game out there. The visuals are that bit much better, and I love 21, and that was my last one I can compare it to, because I don't try and get all the MotoGP games, because sometimes you feel there's not a big difference. There is a really, it seems subtle, but it's a big difference. I love all the replay actions you've got with the cameras. I love the photo editing tool. So we're going to do a lot more clips on the MotoGP 25 as well, so stay tuned for that. So we've got some more clips coming. I'm not going to try, I probably won't get as many clips up as I have been doing these last few weeks. So these last few weeks I've been doing one pretty much every day. But what we'll try and do is, I'm going to try and do a more detailed one at the weekend. So you'll get 2 clips Saturday and Sunday, and you may get the odd one here and there scattered through the week. But the majority of the weekends I'll get a big clip chucked out. It's just, I don't have the time to do these, although I wish I could. And plus I'm going to be trying a few number of different games as well. We do have the Christmas breaks coming up, so I can try and prepare some clips already, so we've got these voiceover stuff going across. And I've mentioned we will be looking at V Racer and the V Rider SBK, comparing those two. And I've also mentioned that I've got a new rating system that I want your feedback on to see what you think of those. But it's not too bad. And then the other thing we'll be looking at, and I'll be posting probably the next clip will probably be that one, will be MX Legends. Because obviously they've just had a new update that's come out, their new compound, which is quite amazing actually. But there's some good and bad things. Not about that compound, the compound's brilliant, but I've had a few little issues with the game, but we'll discuss those at the moment because I want to try and get used to that. But the controls, again, totally different from one game. So by going back between bike games within the same period sometimes can be a bit confusing. So I'm sure some of you will point out to me if I'm doing wrong. But here we go. Am I going to get the second? Oh, I thought I was going to just beat that and get second place. Well, there you go. Boom. I got showtime. Okay, so it wasn't too bad. So there's my track completed. And then if you validate that 5 times, you get the last online trophy. So the next one we're going to do is download somebody else's track. But we need to win that, okay? So I'm going to pick another track. Let's go to track selections. Let's look at one of their recommendation ones. So, online tracks. Oh yeah, this was a thing that happened to me. I've gone to the online tracks and it will fail. It can't find any. There's no results available. So I panicked slightly when I did this because I thought, oh, there aren't any online tracks. So I came back out, went back in again, and then it found the tracks. So I first of all panicked, oh, they switched them off. No, but there wasn't. There seemed to be some sort of delay. I don't know whether it's just one server that's running. But I did notice that was a bit of an issue, got me panicking. So I thought, I'm glad I'm getting the online ones for this game out of the way first. And another reason for this clip also is because obviously Christmas, I got this game in a sale, and I'm pretty sure you're going to find some more of the Super Energy Motocross games in the sale, in the January sale version. So look out for them. If you like bike games and you've got a PlayStation for Christmas, or an Xbox or a PC, look out for the sales for these, because I got this game for £3. So I hadn't bought this one because I had version 1, because what's the point of doing it until I do it, and I've only done it because of the game. So that's why I'm comparing these now. So I'm only starting this lap, so I'm a good 6 years late for this game. But we'll have a little look at this. But I have to say, the AI riders are very good, and we're going to do a comparison with these with MX Legends, because they're slightly different. But yeah, so this is the track I've now got to win this race somehow. And I've never ridden this before, by the way, so this is totally out of the blue. Whoa. I'm a bit all over the place. Okay. I'm not sure. I've got the right. I believe I have the riders on medium level, by the way. I don't think I've got them on easy, so we'll see how this goes. But this is someone else's design. But I've got to win this to get the only other online trophy that I've covered. Okay, I haven't worked out how to do my scrubs or whips yet, so let's have a look at that. I thought they were the same. So I think I've had a quick test of 3, so I thought they were the same in those, but we'll find that out. I'm a bit all over the place at the moment. Okay, maybe the AI is not so good when it's not a track that they've built, because it's trying to work it out, so maybe that's why it's slightly slow. Okay, that's not too bad. Okay, there's that first place, so I've got this in the bag, this one. Cool, go get past him, and then that will be all I need. Okay, come on. I'm a bit all over the ridges here. Don't lose, getting away again. I'm dropping to 3rd. I need to win it. Oh, he's gone. Oh no, he kept that. He saved that. Alright, how many laps we got to go? I think we've got 2 more laps to go. It's quite a short circuit, so it's not too bad. That gets me through. Oh, cheated. Oh. Alright, I'm down to back to 2nd again. Alright, come on. Doesn't say last lap. I'm back as number 1. So let's get this sorted. Okay, that's not a bad little design. So this will be the last online trophy, and then I just play the game, do the 250 season, East and West, and then I got to win a 450, and then there's a lot more side missions, I believe, and there's advert things. So also have a look out when you do a new game, especially racing games and stuff like that. If you are into doing the trophies, look out for some of these, because sometimes they're like sponsorships, or in this particular game you've got to stick with the same sponsor. Don't change sponsors. Some trophies you have to change halfway through a season. Some say you have to change bikes. When it comes down to motocross bikes, because I had a Honda 450, I always stick with Honda. No disrespect to the other bikes, it's just that I just had a 450, so I'm always going to, that's the only one I'm ever going to ride, so I'm always going to stick with a Honda. Which is weird because Honda's always the first one you get given for free, so I don't really need to spend any of me credits I earn on other bikes. I've got this in the bag now. 2 laps to go. I've got another lap after this. Okay. But like I say, look out for some of these bikes. If you're into bike games, look out for these in the sales. The first one is still brilliant. They all seem to be pretty active at the moment, so you should get a good deal on these. But yeah, you should get them for about a couple of pounds. So you shouldn't pay any more than that. No, I think you'll get loads in January sale. Boxing Day tends to be loads. Right, I'm on the final lap. Don't mess it up. You going to mess it up? How far behind? No, I'm well ahead now this time. I've got this in the bag. And that will be all my online trophies, all the tricky ones, completely done. Allow me to go and complete the game. Now what I should really do is go and look at probably 3 and 4, I haven't got 4, 3 and 5 and see if there's anything from them, because just in case they do have an update. But I have to say, my opinion so far on the games I've played and the experience I've played is that nobody does bike games better than Milestone. They are awesome. Yeah, and you can beat, and I know there's some people saying that's certain how they did, but I think they do a fantastic job. I haven't got those too. And look, there you go. Now you look on there. You've got the trophies there. Like it's 2.3%, by the way. You've got to validate five tracks. 2.3%. So all you've got to do is very low percentage. So that's not too good. And like 0.4, I've only ever platinum this. But I got those ones for doing that one. There's also another one we've got as well, which is the Perfectionist. That's create a custom track. And there you go. Okay, guys, take care, and I will speak to you soon, very shortly. See you later. Bye.